welcome to the Lifestyle Show with me, Pam Joseph, broadcasting from the renowned Tabernacle in the heart of Ladbroke Grove. It's wonderful here. It really is. Feel the vibes. It's all good. It really is good. Now, for the next 2 hours or so, I'm going to request that you please put your remote control firmly away so that you're entertained, I tell you, by myself and my guests. And it's a very busy show today. You need to hear a lot of what's going on today's show. You really, really do. So please, no distractions. Please. Now, first up, we have a lady that joined me last year. Some of you will remember because I was trying to take the very shoes she came to the studio on and nick them from her. They're plastic and they were perfumed, so they look gorgeous. Anyway, she hasn't got them with her, but she's here. Her name is Carol Rose. She is a fashion designer, renowned fashion designer, and she's joined by health and fitness guru Frederica. They have come together. They're going to talk to you about this very, very unique initiative, and it's called Fashion Slaying Cancer. That sounds deep in itself. So Carol is going to explain all of that. We're going to talk to Frederica in a minute, but let's have a first go with Carol. Carol, lovely to see you. How are you, and where are my shoes?
Good evening, Pam. I am so sorry that I cannot find the shoes. No, I can't find them. Probably hid them from you because I knew you wanted them so badly. I've got another pair of plastic shoes, but they're not perfumed.
Okay, but you look gorgeous as usual. You really, really do. It's been a year and a half, almost a year and a half, that we last saw each other. Now you're talking to us about fashion slaying cancer. For the benefit of our viewers and even for myself, what's it all about?
Well, my background is in fashion. I've come up in the fashion industry, in the rag trade. What a lot of people don't know is that fashion is the second most polluting industry in the world, second to oil. Not does it only pollute the environment because of all the harsh chemicals that are used converting fibre to fabric, but it also pollutes our bodies with the harsh dyestuffs that are used, and the skin's porous, so it breathes in toxins. And we do not realise that clothing can be hazardous to health. So the area of fashion that I work in now is sustainable fashion. So I consult with companies to help them think about more sustainable practices within the industry. For instance, 350,000 tons of clothes are discarded in the UK each year. It goes to landfill. It then becomes harmful gases that's let into the atmosphere. A lot of people don't know this. So then my whole ethos around fashion is using fashion as a force for good. We've all been affected by this horrible disease. I don't give it any power. I spell it with a small c, cancer. Whether it's impacted us personally or somebody we know, but everyone you come across nowadays has had some encounter with this thing. It's not a respecter of age, colour, gender, etc. But it's very rife in our community. So through experience with having friends, family that have gone through this process, I felt I had to do something about it. So I came up with this by inspiration. I was inspired to do this event, and I thought, okay, so it's not just about clothing. Fashion for me is the prevailing trend in nutrition, health and beauty, and hair, and music. I call it the ecosystem that we operate within for life, one of the four. So we're bringing together a collective of individuals from within these disciplines: music, health and beauty, hair, fashion, and nutrition, to showcase and also debate this whole topic to see what we can do to promote healthy living for longevity.
Yeah, I mean, wow, it sounds like such a fantastic event that's going to happen, and a fantastic initiative that you put up. You just said about a collective of people. We've got one right here, Frederica Charles, who is a health and fitness expert. I'm going to actually hand you the mic because I don't want to stretch over Carol too much unless I was going to grab her shoes. Frederica, let me hand the mic over to you. Just explain about your involvement in this initiative and a bit more about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Frederica Charles, and I've been working in health and fitness for the last almost 30 years. And I got involved in fitness really because when I was quite young, I had quite a few people around me that were battling with their weight, and it was something that I thought, I don't want to have to battle with that when I get older, because I could see the sadness it brought them. So I was probably about 10 years old when I made that decision. And all the health and fitness things, I was already into it because my dad played cricket for Dominica and he played football. So we had quite an active upbringing. So after I left college thinking I was going to work in the fashion industry. Found it really hard to get a job. And then I worked as a PA for many big companies. I'd work for 1 year, save up money and go and travel. And I'd travel for a few months. And while I would travel, I would do my health and fitness things, and I would get the locals to come and do classes with me. So when I came back to London, I think maybe the second time that I went away to travel, I thought, I want to work in health and fitness. That's what I love. I love it so much. So I went and I did a degree. I did a Bachelor of Science degree in health and fitness. And since then I've worked as a school teacher, I've worked as a PE teacher, dance teacher. And then in the 90s I left all that and started up my own business as a personal trainer. Ran really, really big classes and just worked in classes. And then quite soon after that, like people would come and ask me things. How can I do this? How can I do that? I have this pain, I have that. And I would say, I'm not a doctor, but I have an idea of how I can help you. So I started leaving the classes really and taking on one-to-ones much more. And that's where I'm at now. So I do one-to-one sessions. I help people to be the best that they can be. I know that sounds a bit cliche. So
the involvement, talk to us about.
Yeah, and so Carol asked me to come and work with her because fashion is something that affects us in the same way that nutrition affects us. And by the time she explained it, I thought that is such an amazing thing, because I believe that nutrition, I would say that nutrition, water, exercise, your mindset, relaxation, stress therapy, all those things are really, really important. And then after speaking with Carol, and she spoke about the, fashion and the music, everything is linked, everything. And we were talking earlier, and she mentioned that, we have an epidemic right now in the world and in England, if I just stay there, because that's where I am, that's where I work. And if we just mention diabetes is on the increase, it's gone crazy. And, for, I think, really maybe since the 1970s, when government started to have more of an impact in what we eat, telling us we should eat this, we should do that. By 1994, when they started putting out the different Eat Well guides, that was when the problems happened. And the amount of carbohydrates they're telling people to eat and the amount of calories, really that's nothing to do with it. What we should be doing is eating healthily, exercising, but eating much less times a day. So we eat maybe 3 meals and maybe 4 snacks. And that is what's making us fat. It doesn't even matter if it's a little bit of calories. If you're eating 3 meals, healthy, and 4 healthy snacks, you're going to get fat.
So this is all you're going to be saying this night, because Carol, you want to add to that?
Well, Frederica is. We have the first part of the event will be the very serious part, where we have our naturopathic health practitioners from the community who will be presenting and also be on a panel to discuss very, very intricate issues about health and nutrition. And Frederica is one of the panel hosts, along with a gentleman who are called Osiris. Now, Frederica kind of paraphrased Dr. Stephen Sally, who is one of our panelists, and he said something really impactful to me. He said, we're in a state of emergency and people are not paying attention. And I mean, it was just a few days ago he mentioned that, and he said this event is on time. And so, for everybody listening, we have come at this in a really artistic and creative way, and because we want to use our gifts to get the word across. We're coming in a very different angle, but it's all very important. We've taken, as I say, clothing, we've taken music, because what a lot of people don't understand is, and if you're a musician out there, you will understand that music is a vibration, a very powerful vibration, and the body reacts to vibration, in particular music. Now, depending on which way you tilt your vibration, it can produce negative effects or positive effects in the body. So, for instance, the musicians that we're working with, they understand that concept, that ideology, and that science, and they're using their music as a positive vibration to raise our energy, our consciousness. So that's how we're linking this whole thing about healing and preventing dis-ease. So we've also identified that cancer is not just this thing that everyone is passing away from. It's a mindset. You know, the way our young people are behaving in the streets at the moment with all the stabbings, it's a dis-ease. That's cancerous. The disunity in our community, in our families, that's cancerous, and it comes from somewhere. So we're looking at everything that, within my remit, you know, there are other disciplines, but within I spoke to a really famous artist that gave me his artistic view on the narrative that we need to change from a visual perspective. And I thought, my goodness, that's another link. So the possibilities with fashion slays are endless.
Exactly.
Because fashion is not just applicable to clothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interlinked,
it's all intertwined and interlinked.
Oh my gosh, this is great. This is wonderful. We need to talk a bit more about the event that's going to be taking place,
yes,
which is next month.
Absolutely.
So let's go for this.
So the event's happening on Sunday, the 7th of October. We have a reception at 3 till 4:30. You come along, get a glass of healthy red wine, because red wine, I don't drink, but I know that red wine is good for you.
Healthy red wine?
Healthy red wine, vegan red wine. Also, we have vegan hors d'oeuvres. And there'll be an opportunity to network, browse some of the stalls in the marketplace that we have. You know, we've selected individuals to come in with really unusual product. And that will be from 3 till 4:30. So it's really important, I think, as well, to be on time. And then at 4:30, you're seated for the event. And that opens up with a health panel. We have a doctor who will be doing a lecture or a presentation about the intricacies of the body and how imbalance affects us, and he talks about the cells. He does it in a really, really spectacular way, and then he joins a panel of other practitioners who will then discuss, and then we take question and answers. Yes, hosted by Frederica. Then we go into the hair. So we've got a hair specialist who will be talking about how to prolong the health of your hair, your natural hair, because we know about all the stuff that's going on in with relaxers. I hate to say it, with chemicals that we're putting in our hair, and some of the products that's happening. So we're looking at. We're not saying that we have the cure, but we're looking at minimizing impact and making better choices for our lifestyle. And so we also have makeup. We have a brand that will be showcasing very natural makeup, not produced, not animal tested, natural ingredients. We're talking about that brand. And then we have the music panel. I've got to mention this because we've got our beautiful sister, the legendary Janet Kay, and the amazing Victor Romero Evans, who have been amazing supporting this event. They will be hosting the music panel, and they'll also be surprising us on the night. And we also then have an amazing fashion show. My collection will be there. We would say that we are some of the leading sustainable designers that are raising up now, where we're using fashion as a force for good.
Carol, the address.
So the address will be the Redmond Community Centre. It's on Kayani Avenue, London, N4 2HF. It's 5 minutes walk from Manor House Tube Station, and it's on a beautiful hidden river in the middle of London. Docks. It's very serene. And I just liked this. I wanted to give everybody a different backdrop. Yes.
3 p.m. till 8. And
3 p.m. till 8.
This is what's going to happen throughout the day. Now,
yes,
we have to roll. So give us all your information that you can, whatever you can, website, email.
Tickets are available on Eventbrite. Please visit our website, which is fashionsleyscancer.com. It will pop up, and all the information that you need gives you a little bit more information about who we are. My brand is Kingdom Principles. The initiative is called Kingdom Principles. Come along on the day and you'll hear a lot more about why we're called Kingdom Principles. And you can go onto Eventbrite from that page to purchase your tickets.
Okay, so if you would like to get in touch with me, my name is Frederica Charles, and you can find me at freddy.charles.com, and that's Freddy with an IE.
Or they can talk to you on the day.
or you can find me on the day.
On the
Thanks.
On the 7th of October. Sunday the 7th of October.
Definitely one you can't miss, Sunday, 7th of October. We're going to probably say that again before that date as well on the show. So, but we do have to round up now.
One thing. The fashion show promises to be amazing. We're honouring the history of our fashion, of black designers and their contribution to the industry, and honouring Black History Month. So that part of it is going to be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Frederica. Okie dokie, we're going to take a short break now from two very inspirational ladies. We've got another inspirational lady that's coming up after the break. I guess who that is? Stay tuned. You'll see it.